Hi friends, my name is Krishna. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We already discussed about illustration 1, 2 and 3 as well. We are going to discuss about illustration 4 today. It's a very simple problem. It will not take much time. I request you to watch this video till the end so that you will definitely understand how to resolve this problem. Okay, let us not waste our time and get into the problem. Okay, see the illustration 4, what it says. One of your clients, Mr. Shinghania, has asked you to finalize his accounts for the year ended 31st March 2020. So they have given Shinghania details, and asking us to finalize his accounts for the year ended 31st March 2020. Till date, he himself has recorded the transactions in books of accounts. So Singhania himself recorded all these transactions, whatever table they have given below. This table was finalized by Singhania only. As a basis for audit, Mr. Singhania furnished you with the following statement. So audit purpose, because he has done this problem on his own, right? Now he is asking us to finalize or audit this statement and see whether those transactions have been recorded correctly or not. That is what his request is. Now, what is that they are asking us to do here is, they have given Singhania's capital, drawings, premises, sales, customers, purchases, purchase returns, loan from bank, payables, trade expenses, cash at bank, bills payable, salaries and wages, inventories, rent and rates, sales returns. So these are the accounts he already prepared and the summary was given to us. Okay. Now, what we are expected to do is, each and every transaction, whatever mentioned there, whether it is right or wrong, we need to see. If it is wrong, we need to set right that and give them the correct statement. Now you see the first one, Singhania's capital account they have shown as credit balance 1556. So capital is a credit balance, capital is a liability. So all liabilities are credit balances. So 1556 is a correct amount recorded in credit side. See here solution. So this is correct. No issue in that. Next, Singhania's drawings 564. Singhania's drawings 564 is shown under debit side. Drawings is nothing but what proprietor is supposed to pay that amount to business because he has withdrawn that amount from the business. Proprietor withdrawn that amount from business. That means what? Proprietor has to pay this amount. So it is an asset to the business. So all assets are debit balances. So it is shown in debit side of the trial balance. So it is correct. So this is also correctly mentioned. 564 is also correct. Next, leasehold premises 750 they have given here. Leasehold premises is what? It is an asset. Leasehold premises is an asset. All assets are debit balances. So leasehold asset premises is kept as debit side of the trial balance. So that is also correct. So he correctly accounted. There is no issue. Next, sales. He mentioned to 2750. Sales is what? It is an income for us. All incomes and gains are credit balances as per nominal account, right? So he also mentioned correctly 2750 is a credit balance. He updated in credit balance. There is no mistake here. Next, due from customers 530. This is the problem. Due from customers. Customers are supposed to pay that amount 530 rupees to us. That is an asset. All assets are debit balances. But see, where did he show this 530? He shown this 530 in credit side. It is supposed to be shown in debit side, but he has shown in credit side. That is a mistake. So when you are adjusting this trial balance, you need to show that in debit side of the trial balance. Are you clear? Right. Next one. Purchases 1259. All purchases are expenses. All expenses and losses are supposed to be debited. So he debited. This is correct. So this is also correct. right? There is no issue. Purchase correctly accounted. Next one, purchase returns 264. He debited in trial balance. What is the entry for purchase returns? When we return the purchases, what entry we post? Supplier account debit and purchase returns credit. Correct? Supplier account debit and purchase returns credit. Purchase returns is a credit balance, but he recorded this in debit side. So we need to rectify. So we kept in 264 credit side. 264 we kept in rectified and kept in as credit side. Now moving on to the next one. Loan from bank 256. He took the loan from bank. It is a liability. He took loan from bank. It is a liability. All liabilities are credit balances. So the 256 is correctly accounted in credit side. There is no issue. No need to rectify. Clear? Next, trade payables 528. Trade payables he has shown debit side. Payable is a liability. Payable is a liability. When the payable is a liability, he has to show in credit side, but he has shown in debit side. So we need to rectify that and credit this in trial balance. We created that. Are you clear? Right. Next one. Trade expenses 700. All expenses and losses are supposed to be debited. That's a debit balance. So he has shown debit side correctly. So there is no issue. That has been accounted correctly. There is no problem. Moving to the next one. Cash at bank 226. Cash at bank is an asset. Cash at bank is an asset. All assets are debit balances. So this is also shown in debit side. He accounted correctly. So there is no issue. 226 is accounted correctly. Next, bills payable 100 accounted in debit side by him. Payable is a liability. Payable is a liability. It has supposed to be shown in credit side of the trial balance. But where it is shown? Debit side. That is wrong. So we rectified that and kept it in credit side of the trial balance. Are you clear now? This 100 is supposed to be in credit side. We kept in credit side, but he accounted in debit side. So we rectified that. Next, salaries and wages 600 debit. Salaries and wages are on expenses. All expenses and losses are supposed to be debited. So he debited. That is correctly accounted. So we also accounted correctly. Clear? Next one. Inventory. Opening inventory has given 264. 264 is opening inventory. Opening inventory is what? It is a debit balance asset. Inventory is an asset. So when the inventory is an asset, all assets are debit balances. He has to show in debit side, but he has shown in credit side, which is wrong. So we need to rectify that and put it in debit side. Clear? So we kept it in debit side of 264. Next one, rent and rates 463. Rent and rates 463. He debited. Rent and rates are basically what? Expenses. All expenses and losses are supposed to be debited. So that has been debited correctly. So we also shown debit side correctly for 463. There is no issue. Are you clear? Next one. Let me pull this statement up. Sales return 98. Sales return. Tell me where do you book sales return? What is the entry for sales return? Sales return account has to be debited and the customer account has to be credited. Do you agree or disagree? Sales return has to be debited and customer account has to be credited. Here sales return is shown in credit side. Sales return account is shown in credit side, which is wrong. Which is wrong. So you need to debit that amount. We need to debit that amount. So we rectified that. And the last point, what he mentioned, the closing inventory on 31st March 2020 was valued at 574. Mr. Singhania claims that he has recorded every transaction correctly as the trial balance is tallied. check the accuracy of the above trial balances. He's asking us to, he is claiming that he has done everything correctly because trial balance is tallied. So hence he is asking us to rectify. Now we rectified so many transactions, right? For example, sales return. He accounted credit side, that has to be accounted in debit side. Bills payable, he accounted debit side, it has to be accounted in credit side. Trade payables, it is supposed to be accounted in credit side, he accounted in debit side. These are all the mistakes he did and we rectified here in this statement. Correct? This is the rectified trial balance. Am I right? Now, he is saying his closing inventory is 574 and he is asking us to account it. We will not account closing inventory in the trial balance. We will not account closing inventory in trial balance. Why? Why are we not showing closing inventory in trial balance? That is an important point, guys, which you need to understand. See, in the trial balance, we are showing opening inventory. Agree? We are showing purchases as well, right? These two are shown as a debit balance. Opening inventory is an asset, so we are showing debit. Purchases, we are showing it as a debit balance because we purchased goods, expense. So we are showing that also is a debit balance. So purchases and opening balance are shown as a debit balance in the trial balance. Are you clear so far? Now, closing inventory is also an asset. Am I right? Closing inventory is also an asset. It is a debit balance. Suppose if I show closing inventory also in trial balance, what will happen? My opening balance debit, my purchases debit, my closing balance also debit. I will be accounting 2 times of my inventory and which is totally wrong. So closing inventory, I'm not supposed to show in trial balance because that is part of already my opening balance and purchases. Please remember this point. Once again, I'm repeating. My closing inventory is already part of my opening inventory and purchases, which was already part of my trial balance. Hence, I'm not supposed to show closing inventory in the trial balance. Are you getting my point? Let me repeat once again. This is a very, very important point, guys. In my trial balance, I have shown opening inventory. I have shown purchases. Right? These two are shown. Why closing inventory is not shown? Where from you get the closing inventory? You get the closing inventory from either from opening balance or from purchases. You get the closing inventory either from the opening balance or from the purchases. So if the closing inventory is already part of the opening inventory and purchases, and if you show once again that also in trial balance as a debit balance, what will happen? It will be double accounting. It will be a double accounting. So you should not show that because it is already part of opening balance and purchases. That is the reason this will be considered as an adjustment while preparing the final accounts. When we start preparing profit and loss account and balance sheet, that time I will explain how to treat this closing balance while preparing profit and loss account and balance sheet. For time being, what you need to understand is the closing inventory will be given as an adjustment and it should not be part of trial balance. Then please ignore it. But if somebody asks tomorrow why closing inventory is not part of the trial balance, your answer should be my closing inventory is already part of my opening balance and purchases, hence I'm not supposed to show that in trial balance. So this is an explanation why we are not showing it in trial balance. Hope you are very clear about this subject. So we are ignoring this 574. That's all. We prepared the trial balance. Here 5454 and 5454 totally is tallied. Here also 5454, here also 5454. But both the totals are tallied. The wrong trial balance total is also 5454. The correct trial balance total is also 5454. But which has the right arithmetical accuracy here? The correct one. Why? Because there are some compensatory errors happened here. There are some compensatory mistakes he did, Singhania. So we rectified them, but totals are tallying. But only thing what you need to keep in mind is my rectified trial balance is perfect because I've rectified bills payable, which is incorrectly accounted, sales returns which was incorrectly accounted, that has been accounted, trades payable which was incorrectly accounted has been rectified. Like that, we rectified whatever mistakes he has committed, and we have prepared a correct trial balance. Clear? This is what the problem is. I hope you are clear about the concept now. And if you like the concept, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Right? Thank you.